Like a scene from Dumbo. It'd be really fantastic. Okay. However, it wasn't just one in her bathroom. She had one in many bathrooms. Basically, any place that Bill had sex in the house with someone not her, she had to serve. There are a couple things that reminded me of off the top of my head. I mean, when I saw Hillary's face come through and shatter glass, Twitchy pointed this out, and they're exactly right. It was a little bit reminiscent of a commercial, a famous commercial of the past. Here's what that was. Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Huh? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hillary Clinton and the Kool-Aid Man. The only difference is that children aren't afraid of the Kool-Aid Man breaking through their wall. Pretty much everybody's ancestors did things that were bad. That's the point. We've progressed beyond that. And if Ben Affleck can't see that, then that's the real tragedy in all of this. Wait, I mean, aside from the fact that he was in Reindeer Games and has been cast as Batman, which is its own tragedy.
Okay, but
I mean, you have to feel a little bad for Beto. And you got to feel bad for him a little bit because he's standing there going, wait, I'm the same person I was. Bro, I'm who I was 5 seconds ago. Why are you ripping on me? I'm just here ripping this bong. Why are you ripping on me, brah? And that's how it went.
Rare case where a leftist uses evidence, logic, and empiricism. How do I combat, like, statistics they propose?
Who is it and when has it happened ever? My wife is a doctor. Okay, which means she's accomplished more in her short life than Hillary Clinton has in her entire life. My wife's a doctor who takes care of people. She never at any point in her life sat around thinking, you know what, I can't be a doctor until Hillary Clinton, a corrupt old shrew, becomes a presidential nominee. But how is it going to happen? Well, I'm going to yell, and everybody else is going to yell. And if we all yell together, our yelling will be so loud that the walls of Jericho will fall. And everybody's like, what? He's like, no, the yelling is the key. What don't you understand about what I'm saying to you? Yelling is the key. Dude, no. So what are you talking about? The real world. You just told us we got free college and free healthcare and free everything because unicorns fart gold. And now you're telling me that this is the real world and I have to back Hillary Clinton. He's like, yes, unicorns do fart gold, but you also must vote for Lady Godiva atop that unicorn, Hillary Clinton. Because that is a baby. Okay, and I'm sorry to... a bundle of cells that is requiring... You're technically a bundle of cells right now. Very, very odd to see all these Democrats suddenly realizing that old Joe is a vicious racist. Call me crazy, but I find painting menstrual blood on your face off-putting. It's just not my thing. I mean, I think there's a reason why many of these women will die single and alone. But don't worry, they'll have their 83 cats to comfort them. Bienvenidos amigos a la Ben Shapiro Show, donde no hablamos español, pero nos reímos de las personas que piensan que sí. I know, you thought you were listening to the Democratic debate last night. I love whenever they have the cutaway shots of other adoring actors who, they all hate each other. They hate each other. And they all go to the shots, oh, I love Meryl. God, I wish she were dead. I mean, that's what all the faces are.
Nothing to watch but football and mixed martial arts, which are not the arts.
Yeah, we hate football. Woo! Mixed martial arts, suckers. Generations, and Bernie Sanders saying, what about past generations? Why cannot we relieve student debt for Abraham Lincoln, who only had 2 years of schooling after all? And then you'll have Joe Biden sitting off to the side going, I remember once when... It'll be great. They're out there making a big fuss, and they're saying we want jobs commensurate with our education. Right now, they have jobs commensurate with their education. It's called sitting out on the street doing nothing with your life because you're a bunch of liberal arts morons. You got a degree in queer dance theory, and now you expect a $100,000 job somewhere. Sorry, ain't gonna happen. How about combating actual acts of racism? How about singling out racism and then actually doing something about it, as opposed to doing this kind of Marxist newspeak in which we go through everybody's hidden actions? I'm sensing a real sort of underlying, racial bias to this whole segment. Robert, I find you to be racially biased. I find you to be insensitive, bigoted, and misogynist based on everything that you've said. It may be hidden. Maybe I can't detect it, but we all know it's there. So perhaps you should go through this program. At the end of the program, you will feel free. You'll feel better about yourself, and you'll feel more informed because after all, Boy Scout. You have to be a boy to be a Boy Scout. In the name Boy Scouts. Aggressions lead to actual aggression. So what happened is I said this, and this transgender guy sitting next to me, he grabs me by the back of the neck, on national TV and says, if you don't cut that out, you'll go home in an ambulance, or I'll send you home in an ambulance, which is weird because ambulances don't go home. During the break, Zoe turned to me and said, I'll see you in the parking lot. They'd send security out to the outdoors with me. They'd send him to my car. He was threatening me on Twitter, saying well, he would curb stomp me, et cetera. Which I have to say is deeply unladylike behavior. And if I call you a moose, are you suddenly a moose? Okay, if I redefine our terms. No,
right. Yeah. No, but you read his column.
Evidence. All this is screaming and feelings. How about like a shred of evidence? And two, my parents talk extremely quickly. So everybody in my family, we sit around the table, and it sounds like everybody's on fast forward all the time. Eventually, we actually hit chipmunk speed, and then we go silent, and we go back in time. One time, we ended up back in 1955, and I had to make sure that my parents met and that I was born eventually. It was wild.